In 14 AD, a man named Lucius folded a bronze plate into his bag. Not armor, not a weapon, a document. A diploma militaris. 2 bronze tablets wired together, stamped with his name, his unit, his years of service. A legal certificate that entitled him to land, to citizenship, to money. Lucius had entered the legion at 18. He was now 43. He had marched approximately 50,000 kilometers, the equivalent of circling Earth once and then continuing to Spain, just to be thorough. He had eaten reconstituted grain porridge for 2.5 decades. He had slept in leather tents in conditions that would violate several modern labor agreements. He walked out of that final camp a wealthy man. His neighbor, who had spent those same 25 years farming in Italy, owned less than he did. The army had not made Lucius a soldier. It had made him a social class. Let's talk numbers. Rome did not build an empire on sentiment. During Augustus's reign, a legionnaire's base salary was 225 denarii per year. Domitian raised it to 300. Septimius Severus pushed it to 450. Now, 225 denarii sounds meaningless, so translate it. 1 denarius bought a soldier a day's adequate food. A skilled craftsman earned roughly 250 denarii annually, with no guaranteed employment, no housing, and nobody investing in his future. The legionnaire had all 3, with one asterisk: stoppages. Before Lucius ever touched his salary, Rome took deductions for food rations, for clothing, for equipment wear, for the regimental burial fund, because the army was already planning for his death before he survived his first week. After stoppages, Lucius kept roughly half his official salary. This does not sound like the road to wealth. Wait, here is what Rome understood that most modern institutions still haven't figured out: forced savings. The stoppages weren't robbery with better paperwork. A significant portion was deposited into the regimental savings account in the soldier's name. He could not touch it. He could not gamble it, drink it, or hand it to the woman in whatever provincial town the legion was currently camped beside. For 25 years, that money sat and accumulated. When Lucius received his diploma and walked out, he collected the praemia militia, the discharge bonus. Under Augustus, 3,000 denarii in a single payment. 3,000 denarii in a world where a craftsman earned 1 denarius per working day. That is more than 8 years of a craftsman's full wages, delivered in cash on his last day of service. Same number, staggering reality. Then there was the land. Veterans received land grants in newly established colonies, coloniae. In provinces the legions had recently, let's say, introduced to Roman administration: Spain, Gaul, North Africa, the Balkans, regions with established roads, water infrastructure, and active trade routes. Rome took land from the people it had conquered and distributed it to the men who did the conquering. Efficient, cold, thoroughly Roman. This land wasn't symbolic. A veteran with 20 acres in Roman-administered Hispania was not a struggling retiree. He was a small landowner in the fastest-growing economic network of the ancient world. His neighbors were other veterans. Infrastructure already existed. Roman law protected his title. He had been handed a franchise in an expanding empire. Let's be direct about something. Rome did not design this system because it cared about Lucius. Rome designed the system because an army that fears its future fights poorly. A legionnaire who spends 25 years wondering whether he'll die in poverty fights differently, less reliably, less ferociously than one who knows with legal certainty that surviving means prosperity. That psychological contract was worth more to Rome than the gold it cost. And the land grants weren't charity. They were a colonization strategy wearing a generous face. Every retired veteran who settled in a newly conquered province was a Latin-speaking, Roman law-respecting, economically invested citizen with every personal reason to maintain Roman order. The retirement package was a permanent garrison that paid for itself. Rome built its empire through its pension system. Here is the detail that changes everything. From Augustus through roughly the early 2nd century, this system worked. Veterans retired wealthy, the colonii thrived, legions stayed loyal, emperors died in bed, which was genuinely unusual. Then came the 3rd century. The Roman economy didn't slowly decline, it catastrophically inflated. Between 260 and 274 AD, 14 years, the silver content of the standard denarius dropped from approximately 50% to 2%. The coin Rome paid soldiers with became, in practice, a worthless metal disc that merchants refused at face value. Legionnaires were receiving the same salaries as before, numerically identical to what their predecessors had earned. Practically worthless. The discharge bonus Lucius's grandfather had collected, 3,000 denarii, still read 3,000 denarii on the paperwork, but those 3,000 coins in 268 AD couldn't purchase what 300 coins had bought a century earlier. Same number, different world. Rome had constructed history's most effective military loyalty mechanism around the currency it then systematically destroyed. The army, predictably, stopped being loyal. Between 235 and 284 AD, Rome cycled through 26 emperors. Nearly all of them were installed by the military. Nearly all of them were removed by the military. Some lasted months, one lasted 88 days. The retirement package had built the most disciplined professional army the ancient world had seen. Destroying the retirement package built the most politically dangerous one. So the next time someone tells you Roman soldiers fought for Rome, for the glory of the eagles, for the eternal city, sure, some of them. But the man in the next tent? The one who'd been marching through rain and mud and incompetent tribunes for 17 years? He was fighting for 3,000 denarii and 20 acres in Hispania. And for 200 years, that was enough to hold an empire together.